Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter the 12th, shlokas 13 to 20, translated from the original Sanskrit into English rhymed verse by Gurudev Sadhu Vaswani. The Blessed Lord said, "Who hateth none, from self is free, in pleasure pain has poised mind, and is compassionate and kind. My best beloved saint is he, who dedicateth unto me his mind and reason, is content, controlled, his life still in me blent. My best beloved saint is he, who harms no bird nor beast nor flea, and doth not feel disturbed here by any, and is freed of fear. My best beloved saint is he, who nothing wants, doth work for me, yet is from work detached, serene, well balanced, unperplexed and clean. My best beloved saint is he, who fixed in faith and love on me, doth dote on me, yet scorneth none, and fruits of labour all doth shun. My best beloved saint is he, who is alike in pain and glee, in fame and shame, in cold and heat, to foe and friend in strength defeat. My best beloved saint is he, who bears blame, praise, is passion free, who homeless is and firm in mind, in silent love who life doth find. My best beloved saint is he. They who this nectar drink of me, and know the law that giveth life, and cling to faith away from strife. My best beloved saint is he. Om Tat Sat. Thus endeth chapter the 12th of the Bhagavad Gita, entitled Bhakti Yoga, or the Yoga of Devotion.
Nuri Granth, page 362. खिज़मतगार। हम तो साहिब खिज़मतगार, छोड़ के तेब एक अखर ध्याएगा, इस दर पर मस्त फ़कीर, हम तो प्यालाई पीवेगा। झूठा झूठा है जग सारा, हम दिल भर एक ध्याएगा, नाम बिनात काम न मेरा, एक राम रिझाएगा। हम तो सिपाही उस दर का, संतन झंडा झूलेगा। नूर रचाएगा। नूरिन माणी अमृत प्यासी, पी पी रंग रचाएगा। जय दादा जय हो, जय दादा जय हो, जय दादा जय हो, जय दादा जय हो। चरण कमल में सिर निभाऊं, उठत बैठत महिमा गाऊं। तू शिव शक्ति तू घनश्याम, तू ही है दिल दिल का धाम। जय दादा जय हो, जय दादा जय हो, जय दादा जय हो, जय दादा जय हो। तू ही पिता तू मेरी माता, तू भगवंत आनंद दाता। सत्य स्वरूप तू मेरे स्वामी, तू सर्वज्ञ अंतर्यामी। जय दादा जय हो, जय दादा जय हो, जय दादा जय हो, जय दादा जय हो। ज्ञान और ध्यान तू मेरी युक्ति, तेरे चरणों में मेरी मुक्ति। तेरे दर पर मांगे धूल, दासी अंजलि कीज कबूल। जय दादा जय हो, 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 जय दादा जय हो।
Dada Sham. 2nd August might be just another day for a lot of people, but for us, 2nd August is a day that is very, very close to our hearts. It is a day that gave us dear Dada, a day which gives us a chance to thank God for the gift of Dada, a day that reminds us to forgive in life and lead a very, very peaceful life. Dada loves to see us, his children, spread joy together. He absolutely loves it when we come together and chant the name of God. Dada loves kirtans and bhajans. So we thought, what better way to start Dada's birthday celebrations this year than to pray and do kirtan together once again. So without further ado, it gives me pleasure to introduce today two fabulous singers who are going to take us to the heights of bliss with their soulful singing. So come together, let's welcome Dhanika Popley and Pratish Mhaske.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा शुभकार्येषु सर्वदा शिवनन्दन लम्बोदर हर विश्वविनायक नमो नमः
लंबोदर हर विश्वविनायक नमो नमः
हे शिवनन्दन लम्बोदर हर विश्वविनायक नमो नमः
शिवनन्दन लंबोदर हर विश्वविनायक नमो नमः
ओ नमो नमः नमो नमः विश्वविनायक नमो नमः विश्वविनायक नमो हो मंगलदायक हे शुभकरता
मंगलदायक हे शुभकरता
मंगलदायक हे शुभकरता
मंगलदायक हे शुभकरता
पार्वती नंदन गजानना हो पार्वती नंदन गजानना ओ नमो नमः नमो नमः विश्वविनायक नमो नमः शिवनन्दन लम्बोदर हर विश्वविनायक नमो नमः
शिवनन्दन लंबोदर हर विश्वविनायक नमो नमः
सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता सिद्धि विनायक मंगलदाता पार्वती नंदन गजानना ओ पार्वती नंदन गजानना नमो नमः नमो नमः विश्वविनायक नमो नमः शिवनंदन लंबोदर हर विश्वविनायक नमो नमः ओ जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा ओ जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा ओ जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा ओ जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा ओ जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा ओ जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा जय जय लंबोदरा ओ मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे ओ बापा मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे ओ बापा मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे मोरया रे बापा मोरया रे ओ बापा मोरया
एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी 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 एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
एक तारा बोले
तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
एक 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 तारा बोले गुरु सर्वज्ञानी
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 एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
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 एक तारा बोले गुरु अंतर्यामी
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 एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
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 एक तारा बोले गुरु मेरे स्वामी
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 तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
एक तारा बोले गुरु तेरी वाणी
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
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 ओम नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु
वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वाहे गुरु वा मैं बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मैं बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मैं बारी जाऊं रे हारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा दादा आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे। सतगुरु आंगन आया रे आया,
आया रे आया रे आया रे आया,
सतगुरु आंगन आया रे आया,
आया रे आया रे आया,
ओ सतगुरु आंगन आया रे आया, मैं गंगा गोमती नहाया रे, भरी निर्मल हो गई काया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, भरी निर्मल हो गई काया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मैं बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा दादा आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे। सतगुरु दर्शन दीना रे दीना,
रे दीना रे दीना रे दीना,
ओ सतगुरु दर्शन दीना रे दीना,
रे दीना रे दीना रे दीना,
सतगुरु दर्शन दीना रे दीना, मारा भाग उदय कर दीना रे, मारा परम भरम सब छीना मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा भरम भरम सब छीना मैं बारी जाऊं रे, बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मैं बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा निर्गुण आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे। दास नरण जस गावो रे गावो,
गावो रे गावो रे गावो रे गावो,
दास नरण जस गावो रे गावो,
गावो रे गावो रे गावो रे गावो,
दास नरण जस गावो रे गावो, ओ जंगल में शीस नवायो रे, भर भरम मरम सब छीना मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा भरम भरम सब छीना मैं बारी जाऊं रे, बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मैं बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मैं बारी जाऊं रे बलिहारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा निर्गुण आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा दादा आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा निर्गुण आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे, मारा सतगुरु आंगन आया मैं बारी जाऊं रे।
मारा दादा आंगन आयो मैं वारी जाऊं रे. It's raining blessings here at Dada's birthday celebrations. And would it this be incomplete without actually hearing from the woman of wisdom herself? Ever smiling, her sweetness is bound to make one feel the goodness in the world. With immense happiness, let's now welcome Dada ki Dolari, Pyari Krishna Didi.
My very dear ones, Dada Sham, it is such a joy and a blessing to be a part of the 103rd birthday celebrations of our most beloved Dada, which have been organized by the Sadhu Vaswani Mission of Bombay. It is a pleasure to once again have with us Mr. Boman Irani. He is a person of culture and character, of wit and humor, of sympathy and understanding. We all are looking forward to a beautiful interaction between him and Dr. Manju Nichani, the Secretary of the Sadhu Vaswani Mission Bombay and the Rector of all the Sadhu Vaswani schools pan India. My dear friends, beloved Dada's life is a kaleidoscope of so many virtues, but among them the most predominant color, the most beautiful pattern is that of love. Beloved Dada's love was unique, yet it was universal. He spread the fragrance of love wherever he went. He transformed whatever he touched with the magic of his love. To him, to love was to give and give and give. He often said to us, to live is to give. Those that do not give are no better than dead souls. To beloved Dada, to live was to love, to live was to give, to live was to serve, to live was to bear the burdens of others. He gave selflessly, tirelessly, unconditionally, spontaneously, and so freely. He overlooked even his own comfort and convenience in order to help as many as he could. He also said, true giving is forgiving. My dear friends, in the lives of each one of us, there are multiple situations when we have to choose between love and hatred, between retaliation and forgiveness. It is our choice. And beloved Dada always reminded us, he always urged us to opt for forgiveness. Let me share with you a most touching incident that was narrated to us by beloved Dada's classmate. Both of them were one day walking on the road when suddenly child Dada, he bends down and he picks up something. The classmate also is curious to know what did child Dada pick up, but more than that, there was a hawker who noticed this act and he shouted, "What did you pick up?" And he continued angrily, "I'm sure you must have picked up some money from the floor. You children must be taught the virtue of honesty. You look a decent boy from a respectable family, then how come you bent down and picked up a coin?" Beloved Dada and the classmate, they were really startled by his words. It's nothing, beloved Dada said. But the man said angrily, "I insist that you open your clenched fist." Beloved Dada did not lose his temper, he did not lose his calm, he did not react, but he responded calmly. He opened his fist, only to reveal that it was a broken piece of glass. And the hawker was really surprised, and he said to him, "Why did you pick up this broken piece of glass?" "I was afraid it might hurt a poor man who walks barefooted." The boy's quiet dignity really startled, it surprised the hawker. As I said, beloved Dada was calm, composed, with no resentment in his heart. Yes, beloved Dada, as I said, always urged us to choose forgiveness. It is really sometimes difficult. But beloved Dada said to us that there are 4 stages which we have to cross on the way of forgiveness. The first stage is when we feel hurt, when we feel the pain that has been caused by another. But the suffering is experienced not by the individual, he reminded us. It is experienced by the ego. It is our ego that stands up. It is our ego that gets hurt, that feels crushed. The first step is when we feel hurt and pain. The second step is when that hurt and that pain, it grows, it develops into resentment. That hurt and pain, we keep on dwelling on it again and again. We keep on replaying it in our mind until grudges are formed, and sometimes even it leads to hatred. And beloved Dada said that the disease today humanity is suffering from is grudgitis, which is even more deadly than cancer because it destroys us from within. But Dada gave us a simple remedy. The remedy was let go, let go, let God. Let God take over. So the second step is let go of the hurt, let go of the resentment, let go of the grudge, let go of hatred. And the third step is when God's grace descends on us and the wound that is caused by the arrow of hatred, resentment, grudges, that wound is healed. And then comes the fourth stage in which we rise, we go a step higher, we embrace that person. We not only embrace that person, but we reconcile with that person. Yes, as I said, forgiveness is not easy, especially when we feel that it has been deliberately done to us. I recall how one day I felt crushed, I felt really hurt when someone whom I relied upon suddenly became indifferent towards me. I tried to brush it off, but probably it still continued to show on my face. And when I went to Dada, he immediately could read what was going on in my heart. And he said to me, "I think today something is wrong with you." I said, "Yes, Dada." And I narrated the entire incident to Dada. And I said to Dada, "Dada, I'm trying to let go." And what did Dada say? Don't try to let go, but let go right now. Take the name of the person who has hurt you, who has been indifferent to you, who tries to avoid you. Take the name of that person. Call her out by her name and say, "So and so, I forgive you. So and so, I forgive you." Yes, I did that. That day, we were traveling to Lonavala for a retreat. And as I was traveling, though I was trying to substitute the negative thought with a positive one, but still sometimes there was a deep pain, a deep hurt in my heart. And when we reached Lonavala, Dada saw, he said, "You have not yet returned to normalcy." And now I insist, not only will you take the name of the person and say, "I forgive you," but you will say, "I forgive you, I bless you, and I embrace you." And in your heart, in the hearts of your hearts, you reconcile with that person. And I did it. And believe me, I felt peace returned to my heart. I felt so light, I felt so relieved. Dada blessed me and he gave me such a beautiful smile, and the sunshine of joy returned to my life. My dear friends, beloved Dada's birthday, August 2, is observed as a global forgiveness day. Every year on August 2 at 2 p.m. we observe the moment of calm. Let me request you that all of us must choose love instead of hatred, forgiveness instead of retaliation, acceptance instead of withdrawal. And beloved Dada went one step further. He said, you must also ask for forgiveness, because remember, no one is perfect. Everyone has their faults and frailties. Everyone commits mistakes. So whenever you make a mistake, whenever you hurt someone, do not hesitate to go forward and ask for an apology. But they must not be mere words, I am sorry. Repentance should be true repentance. Let us, as I said, all of us together try that this 2nd August we will forgive all the hurt, all the pain that we have collected in our hearts. For remember, beloved Dada said that forgiveness is not a gift that you confer on someone else, but it is a protection you need for yourself. Thank you very much, Dada Shah.
Don't try, let go, forgive and embrace. Thank you so much, Didi, for those pearls of wisdom. Well, we now have someone with us who is going to take this celebration further ahead with our very special guest for today, Mr. Boman Irani. She actually needs no introduction, Dr. Manju Nichani. She has taken up the challenge, serving relentlessly at Sadhu Vaswani mission, and shifted lock, stock and barrel to Pune post her retirement as principal of KC College. But her roots are here with us at the SPM Mumbai, as she continues to be the trustee and secretary of Mumbai Center, apart from being the rector for Sadhu Vaswani Institutions of Learning Pan India. Without taking any more time between you and our main guest of the day, I would now like to hand over the privilege to Miss Manju to introduce him to you all in her most gracious and unique manner.
Good evening, friends. And clicks with them. Anyone in difficulty who goes to him, he's just there. Woman Irani is one person whom I think no one can dislike, because he has that internal quality of being loved. Mr. Boman Irani, we are so delighted that you so graciously accepted our invitation, and I can tell you that there is no joy beyond words to extend a very, very warm welcome to you. Today we celebrate the birthday of our beloved master, Dada J.P. Vaswani. This would have been his 103rd birthday. To know him was to love him. That was Dada for all of us. We celebrate his birthday as the day of forgiveness. Forgiveness is actually a 11-letter word, but it can be summarized in 4 words. Love. Forgiveness is love, and love is forgiveness. Dada said, let go, let go, let go everything that bothers you, and it all comes because you hold things against people. Once you let go, you are free. Forgiveness is a prisoner, and you realize that you are one of those prisoners. Once you set it free, you don't realize that you have set the prisoner within you free. As you all know, that Dada's birthday, the 2nd August, is celebrated as Forgiveness Day, and at 2 o'clock p.m. on 2nd August, for 2 minutes, we observe silence to learn the moment of calm. And we just calm our nerves, we let go and let in the great joy. So, Mr. Boman Irani, we are so delighted to have you, and can I have a chat with you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. With all my love. I'm so grateful to you and honored that you all have invited me. Apart from the fact that my name is Irani, sounds very Sindhi, so I qualify in that sense. But apart from that, I am honored, honestly.
Thank you so much. And can I ask you, what is that you remember of Dada the most?
Okay. Uh, you want me to say it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour? Do I have 2 hours?
I give you all the time in the world, but we have half an hour.
No, the first thing that strikes you is his humility. I was seeing the pictures of him and the Dalai Lama and the way they were meeting and greeting each other. Men of that stature. I don't even know whether we should call them men. That stature, being so humble. What are we being so high and mighty about? For what? What is it that we've done? Whose lives have we touched? And I see that humility, it strikes you, it hits you, and it disarms you. And you feel immediately, if there is any form of arrogance or high and mightiness within you, please get rid of it this moment, because that ray of humility hits you. Number one. And number two is that smile. And you realize that a smile, I sometimes have to smile to take pictures and things like that. And I realize that you should not be smiling with your jaw and your face. You have to smile from here, and that smile is there permanently radiating on his face, and it comes from inner bliss. There are times my face hurts and I have to smile like that, it's all fake. And I've said this before to you, Manju, I always think of Dada. The smile has to be there all the time. And how is it there all the time? By being free. And the Forgiveness Days seems to resonate with this thought of his. He must have been so forgiving that he is willing to smile all the time. That smile is there all the time. I've never seen a serious face on him. Look at the photograph behind you. Let's look at that photograph. It is so amazing. So these are the things that, when I think of Dada, these are the two things that strike me, apart from hundreds of other things. We don't have time for all of that, but these are the two things that strike me strongly.
Yes, Dada's humility. He believed that he who is humble kindles the light that never fades. And he has kindled that light. And I do hope that each one of us carries that light of humility with us. And so rightly put in, the smile. I mean, you could die for that smile. I mean, you would just do anything to keep on looking at his beautiful smile. Yes, Boman, you were so right that what drew you to him was his smile and was his humility. Friends, let me tell you, even Boman carries that quality. He has strong roots and strong wings. He can fly as high as he wants to, but I have always seen that he is deep-rooted. Boman, my next question to you is, what according to you is forgiveness?
Okay. So I was listening to Didi. I've been listening to Dada over the years and listening to other people speak. I think forgiveness is, if I can just, without sounding incorrect, I think forgiveness on one level, if you feel that it's, doing it for somebody else and it's too much to handle, don't do it for anybody else. Do it for yourself. Because, and it may sound selfish, but you will smile internally once you forgive. Because I tell you, my grandmother used to say things like this. And she used to say that if you hold a piece of burning coal in your hand, and the longer you hold it, the more it's going to burn you, the more it's going to hurt you. So if you're willing to forgive, just throw that coal away. Just throw, and feel good. That burning coal, just throw it away and you will feel better. You will not hurt yourself. And I'll tell you, there are great rewards for it, which you don't do things just for rewards, but the great reward is inner peace, because that shackles you down and you keep saying, and you go to sleep at night thinking of that person. You wake up in the morning, you dream about that person, and forget all that. Just let it go so you can concentrate on your work. You can concentrate on other human beings. You can concentrate on doing good for others. Otherwise, when you're thinking in your head all the time, your eyes will let the whole world know that something is biting you. Something is gnawing inside your heart. And there's a piece of burning koila in your hand that you are holding tighter and tighter. The tighter you hold it, the worse it gets for you. This I've learned from Dada. And from my grandmother. She said, just let it go. Just let it go.
Let me quote Dada. He said, the more you love, the more you forgive. The more you forgive, the more you forget. The more you forget, the more you serve. How true it is. How much ever hot coal we hold in our hand, and for how long it hurts us the most. Actually, when we forgive, Boman, we free ourselves. We free ourselves from the prison, and then realize that we have been caught up in our own selves.
Right.
My third question to you is, do you think self-forgiveness is necessary? So often we suffer from guilt and we don't forgive ourselves. So do you think self-forgiveness is necessary?
I think so. We all make mistakes. If we didn't, we wouldn't be human beings. And if you don't, I think the principle is the same. How much are you going to beat yourself for doing something? Sometimes we take ourselves so seriously, and you ask, the world may have forgiven you, you should be forgiving yourself. Because it comes in the way of happiness, progress, and helping others. I think more or less, it's, sorry to put it cheaply, but it's a cut-paste job. The same principles apply. Again, stop going on and say, I should not have done that, I should not have said that, I should not have hurt this person. Go, meet the person, give that person a tight hug. It's over. Let it go. Because the moment you keep holding it again, I think the principles are the same. This is my humble opinion on the matter, Manju.
Okay. Let's suppose you cannot do both, forgive and forget. What would you prefer and why?
You should forgive.
Forgive.
So forgive, because if you of course you will not forget.
Many times
Of course you may not forget, but by remembering, sometimes it keeps you and reminds you from probably not doing it again. So I would choose that we must choose forgiveness over forget. You can't forget it and brush it under the carpet. So if you ask me, it's okay to remember, but remember it from learning, and remember it so that you don't make those same mistakes again. I don't know if I'm making sense here, Manju. You tell me.
Making perfect sense.
All right. The principal Sahiba ki do bol sunna padta tha.
Okay. One thing which was very, very dear to Dada was education.
Right.
A firm believer that if anything can change India, it's the right kind of education.
Yes.
Now let me ask you, education and spirituality, can it coexist? Education and spirituality, can it coexist?
Okay, let me give you a small example from my own life. We are still grappling and struggling with this pandemic, all right?
Yes.
And we are out there before the pandemic, going out there to make our careers, to make money, to have a life, and you have no time actually for spirituality. Let me tell you. But what happened during the pandemic, if I would like to take the best out of even the worst situation, what happened during the pandemic is within a few days, the sky started looking bluer, Manju. Within the few days, the sea started looking clearer. Within a few days, animals started flocking into areas that were, and nature started showing its own response to the way we've been abusing the planet. And I'm saying to myself, what about us? What about us? Are we not part of nature? Are we not part of the cleansing process? I think it would be a great time during this pandemic to cleanse ourselves because we are not busy out there looking for, career and chasing after money and nothing wrong with that. Please don't get me wrong. It's very important. But it gave a great opportunity to turn the cameras on yourself and take a stock of who you are. Can you cleanse yourself? So that's the spirituality part of it. However, how do you do that? I think through education sometimes. And the pandemic has taught us that you should use the time to grumble less and learn more. And there was a great opportunity, and there is still a great opportunity for us to learn something new, to sharpen your tools, to share knowledge. And I took it upon myself to I remember when I'd come to New York for Dada, I met up with a writer that time who became my guru, my writing guru, and I started teaching something. I've taken a leaf out of your book, education. I started teaching during the pandemic. I think as of today, my count is not very good, but I know we have done 375 sessions, 2 hours each, every single day during the pandemic of teaching. So I took it upon myself that the best way, and it makes me feel free. It makes me feel that I have learned something while teaching, and the education that I have, I'm no one to impart knowledge, but what I've shared, I think will be of good use to so many people who were lost in that period, not knowing what they're going to do. People lost their jobs. People did not have an income, zero income. At least use that time to learn. So I think the teacher in me came out and said, let's learn, or let's teach. While we teach, we can learn. And education has a spiritual quality about it. So I'm very proud of what we've done. I mean, I shouldn't use the word proud in these places, but I'm very elated that I could do something, find the time, and share whatever little knowledge I had to people who needed it. So your question of spirituality and education, I kind of...
Brilliant. I mean, I couldn't agree more with you that this pandemic really changed our perception. It gave us a lot of time for introspection and the Tom realize that we have so many things which are unnecessary for us and we just go on hoarding them. I think the pandemic also caused a lot of poverty, stress. Many people really have gone through the change of life, and it becomes very difficult to go through these things. But it is only the teachings of our masters and our gurus which tell us learn to accept what happens. I think through education also, Dada said education is not for living, it's for life. It teaches you how to accept life as it comes, and I think pandemic itself has been a great teacher, and I truly appreciate the great work you have been doing. Boman, how do you deal with the challenge or conflict at work?
Challenge or conflict at work? I really don't know how to answer that question except to be a best version of myself every day, because sometimes people say you go and do the same thing every day. I really no. I've got a challenge every day at work to be someone who I'm not. So it's a very difficult thing to do. How do you cope with it? Through craft? Yeah, but also to understand humanity, the state of someone's heart, the state of someone's soul, the state of someone's condition or human condition, and that no acting manual can teach you. Now, if that's a challenge, I don't know how much of a challenge or conflict it is, but to up your game, bad word, game is a bad word, to up your art, you have to understand other human beings. So I don't know how much of it a conflict it is, Manju, but I feel the more I shed away the technicality of an actor, of acting, and embrace the understanding of a human being's mind and condition, I'm a better actor for the same. I hope. I
Great,
try.
you are
I
really
try.
a great actor, and I know that you fit into each role so beautifully, whether you're playing a positive role or a negative role. I think you put in your best. What is the best part of being Boman Irani?
Oh, I think. I know that Dada would would have come into my life even if I was not what you call me by my name. Who am I? Who am I? But still, it was an opportunity because you knew me through my work, and that's how I connected with you. That you invited me to Pune for the first time. I think it's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing to have that kind of advantage and privilege in that sense, to meet people like Dada in my lifetime. Whoever has met Dada in their lifetimes, I think have been touched, and I am influenced. I am definitely influenced. So I think, what is it to be like? I hate using my name the way you said it, but I think it's no different in the house. That's first what it should be. It should be no different on the street either. But can't help it. You have a public presence. People are around you. People are fussing over you. There is an advantage to it. There's a disadvantage. You have to accept everything for its plus and minuses. But it starts from the house. If you don't think you are, and I'm going to use my name, I'm sorry, Boman Irani in the house, I think that's a good place to start. Don't think you are somebody special in the house, because if you accept that, then you will not think that you are somebody special outside. You are just an artisan. You are just a professional. You are just an actor. You are not doing anybody any fancy favors. There are people out there who are hugely successful that are not famous. Do they make them any less than me? No, maybe more. But fame is not a title. Boman Irani is no big deal, You have to accept that you are just a guy who's doing a job like everybody else. You've touched so many lives as a prince when you were principal, and continue to do so in your new avatars. Are you famous pan India? Maybe not, don't get me wrong. But look at the number of thousands of lives that you have influenced and touched. So being famous is not some great thing, honestly. It does have its pluses. It does have its pluses. It has its minuses also. But you must calm down. When it starts at home, you are no Boman Irani in the house. You are just a regular daddy and a regular husband, and that's all it takes, and a regular son.
Good. I'm glad that you have remained, as I said, that you have very strong roots. So in spite of being so famous, you have remained rooted. Boman, I'm going to ask you some rapid round questions, but before that, I want you to give one message for the Sadhu Vaswani mission people who are hearing you with great enthusiasm today. What is that one message you would give them? Maybe from Dada, maybe from yourself.
I'll say this. We were privileged to meet Dada, know Dada, spend time with him, have meals with him, sit and and I never felt awkward in his presence. He never made you feel that there's this great soul sitting next to you and we are having food together, humbly, and you feel nice, calm. And when he passed, you were the one who called me up and told me, and we were so upset. And then I said, but is Dada not going to be with us from now on? I disagree. His legacy is something we have to embrace. All his teachings is something for us to pass on to generation to the youngsters who may not meet him. And it's up to people like you, and in a small way like me, and the people who are part of this mission, to make sure that children for years and years to come will know what his legacy is all about and what his teachings are. Where is Dada? He is right here. He's right here. So, and he would not have liked us to cry too much because he's left the legacy now. You make the best of it and make sure that people understand his teachings and his humility and that smile. What else do you need to learn? Humility, smile. And I'll tell you something. I used to love one thing Dada used to do. He used to take out his watch and used to place it on the table. And he'd say, this is the time I've got to speak. And to the minute, he would pick up his watch and wear it and uska time. So simple principles of life. A man of his stature. Can you imagine who would have not wanted him to speak for another half an hour? No, this is what he was assigned. The simple man that he is. I put on my watch and I continue with I'll say bye-bye. But his legacy lives on and it should live on forever and ever.
So right, Dada is now, Dada is here, Dada is with us, within us. I think that message the Sadhu Vaswani mission will remember and remember always and always. Now my questions, rapid round, one word. One thing.
One word.
Maybe two.
One word.
Maybe 2 words. I'll give you the liberty. One thing you would like to change about the world.
Okay. Inequality.
Great.
Inequality. I'll just say one equality of race and even of, people should have good lives. There cannot be so much of social inequality and financial inequality. I think it bothers me a little bit.
Yes. Someone whom you admire the most.
There's so many. Can I use 2-3 names besides Dada? Dada is forefront.
Okay.
He's taught me so much.
Okay.
I was a big admirer of Mum. She taught me all I knew every single day. It was like going into one room and just taking some lovely thoughts and walking out. You feel powerful in a good way, not powerful in a bad way. Yeah, Mom also.
What do you think you would like to be remembered as?
Someone who can make contribute to some good change. Little bit. I'm not capable of what other human beings can do. But if whatever I teach can make a difference to the fraternity that I come from the Indian film industry that has given me so much, if I can pay back and by whatever I'm teaching, if it makes that change, I'll be a very happy man.
What is more important to you, to be right or kind?
Right, we can be right all the time, and there's no point in being right and saying I was right and you were wrong, because that just satisfies. I think kind is better, no? I think this is a very simple question.
I thought you would say that.
It's a simple question.
An obsession that changed your life. I'm going to use a little crude word. Please don't mind. It's must never do kamchori, because that is a reflection of your honesty. So if there's an extra take to be done while shooting and somebody says, no, it was good. I said, I didn't feel, allow me one take. Because it will bother you when you go home. Why didn't I do that one take? So I think that obsession, don't leave any stone unturned to your effort, is... So perfectionist. I don't know that. Your priority, fame or fortune? Fortune. Fortune, great. Being fortunate, maybe. Being fortunate, fame, something. You changed my question. Fortunate, maybe. Being fortunate, yeah, that's my priority. I'm fortunate. Okay. I think it's a half decent answer. Come on, give me credit where it's due. What do you think about yourself? I'm still finding a lot of things about myself. I want to do much more. I don't want to say that now I've hit a certain grandpapa age that I have to retire. That shouldn't be. I'm discovering more and more the artist in me, and I'd like to do my best work from this day on. Acting, photography, Which gives you utmost satisfaction?
I think acting.
Your biggest weakness?
When I when I'm working, I'm very hardworking. When I'm not working, I'm very lazy.
Okay. How did you become a Bollywood actor?
um,
You joined late.
I joined late. I think, but when you wish for something and you work towards something, I think that something gets drawn towards you and you get drawn towards it. It happened by some magnetic force. I was drawn to it, and it came to me in many ways. I didn't go out looking for a Bollywood film. It came to me. But when you desire it and work towards it, they come looking for you. A very famous actor called Al Pacino, he said, if you work hard and you're good, they'll come looking for you even if you're hiding in Siberia. And I feel that's in a way it's true. If you work hard and you want something badly, it'll come towards you.
The best compliment you have ever received?
Little story है होना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे. So my wife's friends came to see me in a play. And they met her at the end of the play and said, Boman, where was he in the play? You said he's got the lead role. Where was he? Saying that guy, saying that old man, that was Boman. I couldn't believe it. I was not recognized on stage. So I would like to believe that's a compliment.
Yes, a great actor. Yes. One secret about you that no one knows, not even me.
Not even you. One secret about me. I really don't know how to answer this question. What secret? This is now.
Okay.
I don't know what secret I have. Do you think I have some secret? Do you think I have some secret?
I don't know.
Don't make those eyes. Oh, no.
Okay. Social media, you're a master or a slave?
Neither.
Neither. Very good.
I'll take the best out of it. It can't take the best out of me. No way.
In one word, how do your colleagues describe you?
Okay, that's a nice compliment that I always get, and I am proud of it, and I can say it because they consider me a good team man.
Great.
And that's great. And I feel very proud to know that, teamsmanship is very important. Team man.
If you had to describe your life in a song, which song would it be?
Oh boy. My Way. I sing it all the time. You know it. I sang it for Dada also.
I know. I think, I am so particular about time. I've learned it from Dada. My watch and your watch.
Wear our watches again, just like.
Yes. I keep a watch on the watch. Yes. Really, Boman, it's such a joy. I wish I had words, or the dictionary had words to describe that how delighted we are to have you with us today. I mean, I'm sure Dada's blessings will always be with you. And on 2nd August at 2 p.m. for 2 minutes, moment of calm, observe, tell everyone to observe, and let each one let go, and celebrate it as the day of forgiveness. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you all. Whoever's listening in, God bless you all. Keep the legacy going. What a wonderful legacy.
Thank you.
Wow, what a wonderful talk that was. Thank you so much, Mr. Boman Irani and Dr. Manju Nichani. I think that was truly enlightening. Well, Dada's smile, oh so divine. Dada's teachings keeps us forever fine. Dada's guidance is indeed our life's light. Let's all now forgive and let go with all our might. And on this note, let's continue this wonderful celebration of Dada's birthday, and once again, let's welcome Dhanika Popley and Pratish Mhaske. But before that, let's all join our hands or raise our hands, whatever you feel like doing, and say it once loudly, Dada Shah.
रीत जहाँ की तुमसे है जानी, तुम हो जगत के पालनहारी। रीत जहाँ की तुमसे है जानी, तुम हो जगत के पालनहारी। तुमको पूजूं शाम सवेरे, हर सुख दुख में संग तुम मेरे। तुम बिन जाओ कहाँ, तुम बिन जाओ कहाँ, तुम बिन जाओ सर झुकाओ कहाँ। बोलो दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, श्री दादा श्याम, जय दादा श्याम। बोलो दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, श्री दादा श्याम, जय दादा श्याम। सुलझाते बिन मांगे सब कुछ हो दिलाते। हर उलझन को तुम सुलझाते, बिन मांगे सब कुछ हो दिलाते। तुम हो सदा एक वृक्ष के जैसे, धूप में ठंडी छाँव हो वैसे। तुम बिन जाओ कहाँ, तुम बिन जाओ कहाँ। ओ तुम बिन जाओ सर झुकाओ कहाँ। बोलो दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, श्री दादा श्याम, जय दादा श्याम। बोलो दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, श्री दादा श्याम, जय दादा श्याम। बोलो दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम, श्री दादा श्याम, जय दादा श्याम। श्री दादा श्याम, जय दादा श्याम, ओ श्री दादा श्याम, जय दादा श्याम।
Gopala, Gopala, Shyam Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Shyam Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Shyam Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Shyam Gopala.
Murli gaal lola gopi 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 Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Shyam Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Shyam Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Venu Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Shyam Gopala.
Murli gaal lola gopi 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 Gopala.
Devaki Nandan Sundar Venu Gopala.
Devaki Nandan Sundar Venu Gopala.
Devaki Nandan Sundar Shyam Gopala.
Devaki Nandan Sundar Shyam Gopala.
Oh, Radhe 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 Gopala.
Radhe, 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 Radhe Gopala.
Oh, Radhe 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 Gopala.
Radhe, 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 Radhe Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Shyam Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Shyam Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Krishna Gopala.
Gopala, Gopala, Krishna Gopala.
Murli gaal lola gopi 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 Gopala.
Krishna Govinda Govinda 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 Gopala.
गोपाल हरे
जय गोविंद हरे जय जय गोपाल हरे
जय जय गोविंद हरे गोपाल
जय जय गोविंद हरे जय जय गोपाल हरे
जय जय गोविंद हरे जय जय गोपाल हरे ओ नारायण 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 नारायण
नारायण नारायण नारायण
नारायण नारायण नारायण नारायण
नारायण नारायण
ओ नारायण 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 नारायण
नारायण नारायण नारायण नारायण नारायण
नारायण नारायण नारायण नारायण नारायण ओ 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 जय जय गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे ओ जय जय गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला ओ कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला ओ जय मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला ओ जय मुरली मनोहर नंदलाला ओ जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
हो जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
हो जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
हो जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
हो जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
Wow. Well, on behalf of the Sadhu Vaswani mission, I would really like to thank Dhanika Popley and Pratish Mhaske for adding so much music and so much melody to our celebration and really making it a memorable one. Thank you so much. Well, the most awaited part of a birthday celebration is the cake. And what better if the cherry on the cake is the best of all? So now presenting to all of you the cherry of today's celebration, let's all hear what Dada himself has to say about the secret of happiness.
Friends and fellow devotees of the Lord, namaskars to every one of you. Let me share with you a beautiful prayer and the words of my Gurudev Sadhu Vaswani. Far away from you I have wandered. Show me the way, shower your grace on me. Wherever I am, wherever I may be, whatever I may do, in every thought, in every word, keep me close to your heart. A wanderer can never be happy. A vagabond can never experience stillness. Are we not all of us vagabonds and wanderers? Birth after birth have we wandered, lifetime after lifetime, one janma after another, have we inhabited this world of illusion as vagabonds from one incarnation to another, and the wandering still continues. What is the root cause of this wandering? It is alienation from God, separateness from the source of all life. We keep ourselves apart from God, the creator of this universe. How can the lotus bloom without water? How can the Rajani Gandha spread its fragrance without moonlight? How can man ever be happy without God? Once I was invited to visit a great scholar who was a professor at a university. He had a magnificent house. He took me to his study, which was well furnished. The cupboards were stacked with books of every kind. On the wall of the study hung a painting which caught my attention. It was the picture of a yoked bullock with blinkers on its eyes, drawing a heavily laden cart. That is an unusual painting, I observed. My host replied, this painting was gifted to my father by his Gurudev. He was asked by his Gurudev to meditate on this picture, for this picture symbolizes the human condition. True, man is like the bullock in the picture, his eyes behind blinkers, bearing the yoke of life. The grinding routine of his life continues ceaselessly. Just as a bullock trudges and trudges mile after mile and is unaware of where he is going, man wanders through this life. He struggles through this life. He puts in a lot of effort to earn his livelihood. He performs rituals, prays and worships at the altar. He fasts and goes without water, without food. He visits temples and other places of pilgrimage. He goes to satsang. But at the end of it all, he finds his life unchanged. All that effort has got him nowhere. Let me tell you the story of 3 drunkards. One night, after a heavy bout of drinking, they wandered off to a beach. Here they spotted a boat at the jetty. Why don't we take a boat ride? Suggested one of the alcoholics. His friends readily agreed. They climbed into the boat and began to paddle. Throughout the night they paddled the boat. They were tired and exhausted. In their drunken state they felt that they had sailed miles and miles into the sea. But in the morning, as the sun rose, they looked around and found that they had not moved even an inch. They were still on the beach, at the very same spot from where they had started. The boat was firmly hooked onto the jetty. In other words, the boat was bound fast and strong. Man's condition is similar to that of the drunkards who paddled throughout the night without unlatching, unbinding and unhooking the boat. Friends, if I were asked to give advice in 2 words, those two words would be: free yourself, unhitch yourself from the world of Maya, be unbound, and feel the supreme joy of freedom. Heed the call of the saints, O man, do not wander from port to port. O man, do not be a slave of desires which hook you to the world. Set yourself free. Many of us think we are free, that we have a choice in all that we do, but in reality we are not free. We are bound to our desires and wishes. You will not like it when I tell you that you are a prisoner of yourself. Let me ask you to do a little introspection. Ask yourself whether you are truly free from all desires, ambitions, wishes, and cravings. You will have to admit the truth that you are a slave of your desires and dreams. If you are caged by your own desires, if you are a prisoner of your own passions, then how can you consider yourself free? How can you be happy? How can you enjoy the bliss which is your birthright? Benjamin Franklin, an American philosopher, was once asked by a woman, having everything, yet is man unhappy? What is the cause of man's sorrow? In reply, Benjamin offered her a practical demonstration. Calling his little son to his side, he gave the boy an apple. The child was very happy to receive the apple. His eyes sparkled with joy. Benjamin gave him another apple, and the boy took it in his other hand. Now both his little hands were full with the juicy red apples. Benjamin gave him a third apple. The child was overwhelmed with joy, but as he tried to hold the third apple, all three apples fell to the ground. The child began to cry. Benjamin said to the woman, "Can you see the cause of man's sorrow? He tends to be unhappy in spite of having everything. Man is unhappy because he always desires to have more, much more than he needs. The child was perfectly happy when he received one apple. He was thrilled when he received two apples, but when he got the third apple, he began to cry." We are like the child. We want more and more. We are overcome by excessive desire. We become greedy. Greed is the cause of unhappiness. Our desires multiply and keep us bound to material possessions. We are never content. It is only contentment that brings joy and peace within. Gautama Buddha realized this 2500 years ago. He saw the human condition, trapped in sorrow and desires, burning in the fires of Krishna. He saw too that this suffering was universal. The Buddha was determined to find a cure for the world's sorrow. Enlightenment came to him, and he realized that desire is the root cause of all suffering. Desire is the great foe of man. Quench the flames of desire. Buddha urged his followers, give up your desires and you shall find peace within. I am amazed at how people are led by their desires. I was once invited to a housewarming gathering. The owner of the house showed me the expensive fitted furniture that he had specially ordered for the new house. But it seemed to me that his happiness was tinged with anxiety and fear for the future. I am afraid I have exceeded the budget that I set for myself, he said to me in private. It will be a tough job to repay the mortgage on this house. I shall not be in peace till I have paid off the housing loan. Furniture, curtains, modular kitchens, fitted bathrooms, and expensive carpets are not enough to make a man happy. Happiness comes from within and not from external expensive things or possessions. If we want to be happy, we should opt out of this mad race for material possessions. We should reduce our wants and control our desires. Therefore, Sadhu Vaswani said to us again and again, follow the little way, the humble way, the way of service. Live for others and not for yourself. When you look for happiness, you are not likely to find it. When you lose yourself, you find the Beloved. You find the Lord Himself. You realize then that true happiness is in self-realization. This miracle will happen in your life too, when you accept the will of God. Whatever you do, whatever you aspire to, should be in tune with the divine will. Therefore, make this the mantra of your life. Not my will, but thy will be done, O Lord. In every circumstance, in every situation, during every crisis, every trauma, accept the will of God. Vah vah, Prabhu. All that has happened for the best. All that happens now is the best that can ever happen. All that will happen in the future will also be for the best. Whatever God does, whatever He wills, can only be good for me. Whatever He will do in the future will also be for my own good. If we cultivate this spirit of acceptance, sorrow and sufferings will vanish from our lives like mist before the rising sun. A brother once came to me in great distress. He was inconsolable. He had lost 10 crores of rupees in a failed business venture. No matter how we comforted him, he refused to be consoled. His son murmured to me, maybe when he gains the 10 crores that he has lost, he will be happy. To this I replied, no one can be happy with wealth alone. Real happiness comes only from the acceptance of every situation as the will of God. God knows what we need, when we need, and how we need it. Let me repeat to you, it is not the external material wealth which will give us joy, but the right inner attitude which will bring us happiness and peace. God gives us many gifts, but if He takes away any one of them, we feel miserable, we feel inconsolable, we begin to blame God. Why me? Why did this have to happen to me? How could God be so unkind to me? We begin to question His wisdom. We refuse to submit to His will. Little do we realize that there can be no happiness, no lasting peace for those who do not surrender to the divine will. I have often shared this beautiful prayer with my friends. Let me repeat it to you. Thou knowest everything, Beloved. Thou knowest everything, Beloved. Let Thy will always be done. In joy and sorrow, my Beloved, let Thy will always be done. Happiness belongs to those who are immersed in the faith that God can never fail us. In all that happens to us, in all the incidents and accidents of life, there is a meaning of His mercy. If only we could be tuned to His will. The great universe has a perfect scheme of things, and whatever happens has a meaning and a purpose which is good for us. We should accept the divine will and look upon all that happens to us as prasadam from God. Such an attitude can be cultivated by praying to God. In the words of Gurudev Sadhu Vaswani, keep me close to your heart, let me not wander. In joy and in sorrow, Thy will, not mine, be done, O Lord. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
प्रभु तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। प्रभु तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम प्रभु जी, मेरा नाम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम प्रभु जी, मेरा नाम हो रहा है। प्रभु तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। प्रभु तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। तकलीफ और तंगी में नूर एक तू ही मददगार। उठाए हैं अंजलि के जन्मों के सारे भार। करता नहीं मैं कुछ भी, सब काम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम हो दादा, मेरा नाम हो रहा है। दादा तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। सब काम हो रहा है। सब काम